Hello creatives! In this video, I'll share 8 money habits that keep you poor that you should drop to become better with money. If you were born poor, it's not your mistake, but if you die poor, it is your mistake. Those are the words of Bill Gates. That brings us to something we call habit. According to Jacob Astor, wealth is largely the result of habit. So, what is it that the poor do the rich don't? And how can you start behaving like a rich person? That's going to be our focus in this video. As you'll realize by the end of the video, some habits are just poor man behaviors. So, it's not an issue of not having money, but just thinking like a poor man and acting the part. I'll share with you some day-to-day behaviors that are making you broke and impoverished. Number 2 will surprise you. Surprisingly, the most successful people are doing the opposite, and it's their best kept secret. But before then, if you're new here, consider subscribing to this channel and continue receiving great videos like this one. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so that you can get informed every time I publish a life-changing video. Here we go! Number 8. Always try to keep up with the Joneses. The problem with most people is that they try to outcompete or emulate their neighbors in material things. That goes along with Will Rogers' favorite words. Too many people spend money they haven't earned to buy things they don't want to impress people they don't like. Unfortunately, people spend more than they can afford. They take up bad loans to buy unnecessary things, which is a recipe for poverty. Besides, the Joneses you're trying to keep up with might be drowning in debt, so you may have a similar fate. Wealthy people don't show off. They are modest in their spending and behaviors. They buy what they can afford when they can afford it. They are comfortable with their lives and live below their means, and at the same time doing the best to improve their financial status. Billionaires like Bill Gates and Warren Buffett would rather give their billions to charity than try to compete with other people. The takeaway: always focus on things that are important to you as an individual, so learn to live within your means. Number 7. You are reliant on linear income. Do you wonder why people like Jeff Bezos and Warren Buffett continue getting rich? They focus on sources that earn royalties, value addition, and interests. Simply put, they make investments that earn them residual or passive income, which, according to David Bailey, is the secret to getting rich. He says, to get rich, you have to be making money when you are asleep. What about the poor and the broke? Sadly for them, they focus more on linear income sources such as salaried jobs, one-off payments, and allowances. Linear income means that you trade time for money, and when you stop working, your income stops. This is one reason why you're not financially independent. Linear income may get you by, but you cannot expect to grow your net worth when overly reliant on them. You may get too tired or even too old before you can make a meaningful investment. The takeaway: look for a way to earn passive income as rich people do. It could be investing in real estate, buying stocks, engaging in affiliate marketing, or an asset that will generate cash flows for you even when you're not working. Number 6. You overindulge. I'm going to talk about 2 things here: unhealthy eating and excessive alcohol consumption. Let's start with unhealthy feeding habits. Did you know that 69% of the poor spend money on fast foods at least 3 times a week? Interestingly, 66% of them are overweight by 30 pounds or more. So, not only does overeating cost you money, but it's also unhealthy. Wealthy people, on the contrary, eat reasonably and don't overspend their money on junk. Now, let's talk about alcohol. One glass of good wine is not wrong once in a while. It becomes a problem when you become addicted to liquor. Excessive drinking costs money, and I should say a lot of it. And that's not the worst part. The worst part is that excessive drinking impairs your judgment. It becomes challenging to think and become productive at the same time. Don't forget that your health is also at risk. The takeaway: cut down on excessive alcohol and unhealthy feeding habits if you want to be healthy and productive to make money. Number 5. You watch way too much TV. 50 books. That's what Bill Gates reads every year. And he's not the only billionaire with a reading culture. Warren Buffett, the world's fourth richest person, reads 500 pages daily, and Mark Cuban sets 3 hours of his busy schedule aside to read daily. Here comes the kicker. While the rich read during their free time, the poor prefer to watch TV. No wonder Zig Ziglar says rich people have small TVs and big libraries. Poor people have small libraries and big TVs. So, why is this the case? For a rich person, watching TV is just a waste of time. They would prefer to do something more meaningful instead. The rich are always searching for knowledge. They want to be educated, and nothing helps them more with that than a book. The poor, in contrast, prefer not to overwork their mind during their free time, and the TV provides them with the best escape. The takeaway: read more than you watch TV. That's one habit of the rich worth emulating when aspiring to get rich. Number 4. You overspend. Some people don't become broke and eventually poor because they don't make money. No, it's because they spend more than they earn. That's a big problem right there, and it's why Thomas Jefferson warns, never spend your money before you've earned it. Most people struggle because they spend their money on expensive habits like frequent vacations, expensive jewelry, and luxury cars, to an extent of taking advances for those specific activities. Wrong. Mind you, those people know that they are not making enough money to sustain their lifestyle, but are too proud to make adjustments. Your money shouldn't just be spent. You have to keep some for tomorrow, especially for your dependents. They need a secure financial future, and that is unattainable without overspending. Before you start spending, budget and assign every coin to a certain task, and don't forget to pay yourself first. The takeaway: don't spend more than you earn. It'll only leave you broke, or worse, in debt. Instead, find a way to make more money to support your lifestyle. Live below or within your means and work hard to improve them. Number 3. You gamble a lot. Today, there's nothing like a get-rich-quick scheme. Even gambling cannot make you rich. Financial success generally takes time and relentless effort, something that the rich understand. Sadly, the poor would rather bet the little money that they have working for, hoping to hit the jackpot, put in a meaningful investment. One study shows that about 52% of poor guys bet on sports every week, while 77% play the lottery. In contrast, only 16% of rich guys gamble on sports, and just 6% play the lottery. That shows two different mindsets. Guys who are self-made millionaires know that they have to work for their money, so they set goals that they pursue with a lot of dedication until they achieve them. The poor, conversely, will count on Lady Luck to help them get rich. The takeaway: work for your money. You can't always gamble the little you have and expect to get rich. Number 2. You pay yourself last. Rich people pay themselves first. Let me explain the golden principle briefly. Paying yourself first means directing money into savings before you can start spending. So as soon as you get paid, a part of your money goes into your savings account even before you can pay rent and other bills. The Pay Yourself First code guarantees that you have some money saved up regardless of how much you make. It's your first bill to make when you receive your paycheck. Orison Swett Marden once advised, "One penny may seem to you a very insignificant thing, but it is the small seed from which fortune springs." So, you cannot despise your small earnings. Self-made millionaires save, and it's not because they have millions, but because it's a habit they adopted long before they became wealthy. Generally, if you pay yourself last, you may end up with nothing to save as you realize that you have more urgent expenses. The takeaway: learn to think like an investor and pay yourself first. It's the surest way to save and convert your saving into an investment. Number 1. You are not budgeting. The basic principle of money is that it comes in through a job, investment, or business and goes out as an expense. Most people understand that, but even so, they're not ready to budget. That, unfortunately, is having a poor man mindset. John C. Maxwell advises, a budget is telling your money where to go instead of wondering where it went. So, having a budget helps you understand your expenditure and manage your income more effectively. It helps you to take charge of your finances by assigning every coin to a task. Budgeting also enables you to identify issues with your financial planning and improve your decision making. So, there is no way you can have a better financial future if you don't budget. Though there are different ways to budget, I prefer the 50-30-20 method. Here, 50% of my income pays for the needs, 30% pays for the wants, while 20% goes to saving. That, without a doubt, takes care of everything. The takeaway: always budget your money beforehand to have better control of your income and expenditure. In conclusion, start behaving like a rich person so that you can become one. That means dropping habits associated with the poor, and it begins with the 8 that I've covered in this video. I know this video was exciting and you loved it. Also check out this video about 10 differences between the rich and the poor, and other life-changing resources in the description below. If you haven't subscribed yet, you're definitely missing out. See you in the next one.